I'm climbing the bell tower of Paisley Abbey because, believe me, there's a view up here you've really got to see. Wow, what a view. You can see some of Paisley's grandest buildings from here, of the kind that still provide inspiration for people living in and around the town. In today's Songs of Praise, we've got inspiring music too, and I'll be meeting some of the people most proud to be living in Paisley. There are the Stitchers, making sure Paisley's past is not forgotten.
This lady, she's in all her finery, with her cloche hat and her fancy wee handbag.
A world-renowned Paisley sculptor who's embarking on his work of a lifetime.
It's a huge project. It will see me out. I mean, I'll be working on it until my dying day.
And of course, some wonderful hymns from a packed Paisley Abbey. People tell me that folk from Paisley are known as buddies. It's such a popular term that Buddies is the nickname of the local football team, St Mirren. And there are plenty of buddies from Paisley inside the Abbey now, ready to sing for us along with people from the surrounding areas. And they've all come together to raise the roof with some of our best loved hymns, starting with Praise to the Holiest. Paisley has many fine monuments, and not least to this chap, the Reverend John Witherspoon. He was an evangelical minister who left Paisley in the 18th century to go and run Princeton University and became the only clergyman to sign the American Declaration of Independence. The statue was made by the internationally acclaimed sculptor Alexander Stoddart, who's been commissioned by the Queen, as well as making monuments that can be seen across the world. Tell me about your sculpture, because you stand here in this studio. You could be in any century, couldn't you?
You could be in any century, because sculpture like this has been made for the last 2,400 years. Personally, I've always found old, dead people to be tremendous companions, and they're seldom horrible to you.
Tell me about the Christ figure we've got there.
Well, this is a very small, what you call bozzetto, an Italian word, and it means a quick study, modelled in about half an hour, maybe an hour, of a work that will eventually go through bigger dimensions until it reaches a rather heroic scale, bigger than life size.
What is it that's special about the pose as it is done there?
Well, you might just think it seems as it were, domestic and occasional, with no question of the essential mystery of the New Testament, which is overwhelmingly brilliant. I read it every day. But when you turn the work, you notice that it does feature a very big, broad piece of wood lying horizontally. And then in front of that broad piece of wood, we see two hands significantly positioned. And then on the point of the base, 2 feet crossed. So really, with this, one has an intimation of the final redemptive catastrophe in the story of Jesus, as it were, prefigured in a domestic context.
So where does this figure, and where is it going to fit into your canon?
This is a figure that is to be accompanied by the 12 apostles, including Judas, which is a challenge. And it's for a new chapel that I'm helping to decorate. So it's a huge project. It will see me out. I mean, I'll be working on it until my dying day. But it's actually quite a profound object. And this thing transpired under my fingers. There was no real plan. And the central mysteries of the work transpired uninvited as well. And when this happens, you know you're doing the right thing, because you're setting aside that vulgar thing called creativity, and you're allowing that old-fashioned thing called inspiration to apply. And you find that when you're inspired, your personality fairly withers. It's a kind of hypnosis, and your eyes cross, and then you wake up 2 hours later and something is underneath your fingers, most of which you can't remember coming into existence. And this is the grail of artistic production.
Tell me why you don't sign a work like this.
Well, I don't sign work that's religious. When it comes to something that represents a faith, specifically, I don't really like to put my name in it, because I don't think it's really appropriate. I always write Paisley, where the work has been made, because Paisley needs, a good shout these days. This is the town I work in and love. So I always credit the town for the place.
So creating this thing of beauty and of power, what does the person of Christ mean to you?
Well, gentle Jesus, meek and mild is what it means to me. Rather than trying to leave the world a better place, it's our duty to try to leave the world a better man. And if we could do that, all of us, then lo and behold, the world would become a much better place.
When it was announced that Scotland was going to produce a great tapestry telling the story of the nation in panels embroidered by volunteers, a group of Paisley women was determined to ensure that their town's rich heritage was included.
We wanted to get a group of people together to do something really worthwhile in the town. We put forward the Paisley panel for that, and we were given the theme of the 1930s.
Oh, that's great.
Paisley's always been a place where everybody comes together and does things together, and we're all full of chat and that sort of thing. So we made it Paisley Patter so that we're doing the stitching and chatting and telling stories about the mill.
This is a woman who's going to the Kelburn Cinema in Paisley. It was in the Glasgow Road. It was built in the 1930s, and this lady, she's in all her finery, with her cloche hat and her fancy wee handbag.
I'm doing a St Mirren football player. It's one of Paisley's biggest features is the St Mirren Football Club. I think that's one of the great things about it, is that everybody supports them, even if they're not into football. It's really, really important that projects like this run. It's very much a community group, and it's bringing people from all different walks of life together, and that's what Paisley needs.
It makes me feel proud to be part of it. You know, it's going to be up in the Scottish Parliament, and in 100 years, people will be able to look at it, you know, probably when I'm kicking up the daisies.
I think I'm going to have to come round a bit.
I'd love to see that.
My values are just trying my best to be a good person, to do what's right, to help your town, to help your family, to help your friends. That's the Christian value thing. We rely on good people who want to do good things.
I don't know who's got the thread in there.
Oh, the thread is sitting.
Thank you.
To be part of something that's going to be the great tapestry of Scotland. It's all going to be sewn together, all the ones from every town or city in Scotland that are doing them. It brings the whole of Scotland together, really. We've all done a part in that whole tapestry.
Scotland is also rightly proud of its musical past. Now Alistair Ogilvie weaves the words of a familiar Scottish hymn into a traditional folk tune.